Okay, so here's a problem that came across my desk. How do we divide polynomials? What is negative 3y cubed plus 16y squared plus 3y minus 10 divided by y minus 3? This will be the last in the series of answering that comment that requested videos on multiplying and dividing polynomials. I'm going to show this example using polynomial long division. You could also use synthetic division, but that's something I'll address in another video sometime in the future. So first I'm going to set this down as a long division problem. I've got negative 3y cubed plus 16y squared plus 3y minus 10. And a word of caution, watch out for transcription error where you copy it down wrong. I had to retake this video because I copied it down wrong when I recopied it. So that's a very common mistake for me. Watch out for that. Also, when you're writing your dividend, make sure that you're not skipping any degrees or powers, or I refer to them as place values. Y to the third, y to the second, y to the first, y to the zero. If any of those were missing, I would need to fill in a place value holder 0. But this one doesn't need that. And then our divisor is y minus 3. That's going to go right up front right here. Okay. Then we ask ourselves, how many times does y go into negative 3y cubed? Just looking at the first term there. And the answer to that question is negative 3y squared times y makes negative 3y cubed. Okay, and then we also have to distribute that to the second term of the divisor. Negative 3y squared times negative 3 is going to be a positive 9y squared. Now we're going to subtract, but we're not just subtracting the first term, we're subtracting the whole thing. And so to subtract polynomials, we distribute the negative by changing the signs. This is going to cancel out the negative 3y cubed and the positive 3y cubed. That's why we chose this in our quotient, so that that would cancel out right there. And what's left here is going to be, what is that going to be? A 7y squared. And then we'll bring down the next digit or the next term or the next place value, however you like to think of it. And we ask ourselves again, how many times does y go into 7y squared? Well, that would be positive 7y times y makes 7y squared. And positive 7y times negative 3 makes negative 21y. And remember that I'm subtracting the whole thing, not just subtracting the first term. Distribute the negative by changing the signs. Cancel, cancel. And what is left? Let's see. Move up here, okay. And we're left with a 24y. Bring down the next term. How many times does y go into 24y? Positive 24 times y is 24y. And positive 24 times negative 3, what would that be? 72, a negative 72, I guess. Okay. And then subtracting the whole polynomial. Distribute the negative. Cancel, cancel. And we get a remainder of 62. This is a remainder. I do not have any more terms in my dividend to bring down. So what do I do with that remainder? I notice the sign, which is positive, because I do need a sign here for my next term, and then the 62 remainder goes on top of the fraction, and the original divisor goes on bottom of the fraction, just like we do with the standard long division algorithm. This works exactly the same, pretty much. And so our answer is 3y squared plus 7y plus 24 plus 62 over y minus 3. If you have a math problem that you would like me to demonstrate, put it in the comments and I will. Hope that helps.